Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to the session Intro to the Safe Scaled Agile Framework. So what I'll be doing today is I'll be walking you through the very basics of the framework and what are the details available via the framework website and on the Scaled Agile Framework. So quickly, let me walk you through the agenda for the session. So first of all, we will cover what and why of SAFE. Why organization in today's world actually are adopting any scaling framework, and out of those scaling agile framework, SAFE is one of them. Others are disciplined agile, Spotify model you might have heard. Organizations have also adopted lean software development, so less is the framework. We will also talk about how we start actually learning about this as a lean agile leader, as any specific role that we want to play, and then what are the implementation aspects that an enterprise look into it. Of course, we will try today to deep dive little bit in the framework, but in the subsequent sessions, we will actually go area by area, and this will be a series of sessions. Roles and events, I will be kickstarting on the specific role-based trainings, certifications, and also what a specific role means. And in an enterprise level, when these implementation starts, how actually certain roles plays a very important part to it. And of course, then we will talk about any framework is not complete without values and principles, because it is not the methods and the methodologies and the techniques that makes a framework. It's actually the values and the principles behind that framework that helps us to adopt it and contextualize it based on the you could say our own enterprise where we are operating. Before we talk about any aspect in the, you could say, safe perspective, I would say, first of all, the power of communication, alignment, transparency, and respect for people. That are the key values that our uh, Safe Agile framework is actually asking us to look into a very different way. I would say is the basis of this. It's very important to look at those parameters, those aspects first. Uh, as a scaled agile's safe practice consultant, as working with multiple transformations, there are certain aspects which are very, very important. We all need to understand before we get started is what are the key touch points around our framework? What is SI, right? Exactly, the body who actually governs this entire frameworks and give us a guidance. How about its content, its website, how we should use all of this material, what is freely available? Now, from 2024 December onwards, most of the material is available out of Safe Studio. So what are those aspects from a login perspective? How would you enroll for certain certifications? We should actually get a little bit understanding about it. I will share all of these links with you so that you can go into the depth. I will also walk you through the aspects in this an hour of session. Also, we will talk about that how safe practice consultants, how SPCTs, the trainers, should use this guidance, and also based on the certification that you take from a safe perspective that we will talk, how you should not recreate anything. It's a proprietary material, so whenever you are using it, you should use that, okay, from where you have taken the source and how you are using this material. So these are the certain aspects which we should take care of it. And as I was talking about that Safe Studio, it has the complete details of the framework. Its micro learnings now are available. Its e-learnings are now available. Before pandemic, we used to do everything as an instructor-led, co-located. And now Safe has pivoted in last 4 years to actually enable all of us via these e-learnings. So what is actually the Scaled Agile framework all about? So we are starting from there. And what is SAFE? What is business agility? And how Scaled Agile talks about it is going to be our key learning for today. Okay, feel free to let me know if there is any question, anything that you would like to ask me. Uh, Before I get started, actually, I would take you to the scaledagile.com, the main website from where you can get a lot of information. And I would like to play this video for all of you. It is available, but once we will go through it, I think this will become very easy as a consumable e-learning for you that you can refer later on as well. I'll play this video for us.
You want to achieve business agility by creating a nimble organization that can quickly react to change. So where do you start? Tens of thousands of companies trust and use SAFe, including the world's leading brands like Porsche.
You need a different approach for this digital world. This is the networked agile methodology like SAFe. You need this methodology because you need to manage this complexity.
And Southwest Airlines.
Within 10 weeks, we can shift our entire organization, our entire technology department and business, and focus on that and react to the market.
SAFe is an integrated solution that includes the Scaled Agile Framework, the foundation for business agility that's constantly evolving to reflect modern thinking and ways of working, so you can adapt and turn strategy into meaningful execution and impact. SAFe Studio, a dynamic platform that's always expanding to empower individuals and teams to achieve their potential. Learn and grow via individual learning plans, resources, and content tailored to your role. Practice to improve how you do SAFe over time via collaboration tools, guides, and toolkits. Manage your implementation to set people up for success, evaluate performance via assessment tools, and use key data to drive improvement. A worldwide network of 500 expert Scaled Agile partners to accelerate your speed to value. Tap into our partners' proven experience and expertise on transformation strategy, implementing SAFe, training and coaching, and technology platforms. And a global SAFe community to connect with along the way. Collaborate with and learn from passionate, experienced people who can answer your tough questions.
Yeah. So this video actually is available for you to consume anytime when you are starting your conversation in your organization. You want to talk about, what is this SAFe is all about and which all organization in this world are adopting it. But I would like to simplify it for you is like, what is SAFe? What it is all about and why I should be picking SAFe, right? Let's talk about as an individual. Okay. So when we talk about individually, you want to understand because you have certain experiences, you have already implemented certain flavors of agile methods into your day-to-day work. You are an IT professional, you are an IT manager. So how this framework you should try and understanding. So first of all, there is a dedicated website that is called a SAFe or a Scaled Agile Framework, and we will navigate here. Okay. So Scaled Agile Framework is a large, collection of, I would say, techniques, methods, methodologies, patterns. All of this data has been collected for not one enterprise or from one government agency or couple of teams. You heard that there are 500 partners who are actually helping throughout the world implementing this framework. This is the only framework you could say, like I started practicing it around 2013. Till 25, we have seen lot of improvement, lot of version coming out. We started with SAFe 1.0, 2.0. I think when I started, it was around 2.0, coming out to be 3.0. When I completed my SPC, it was around SAFe 4. And now latest from last year, it is SAFe 6. Okay. So the SAFe configuration, SAFe.6 is the most recent one. When you look at the big picture, we call this as a big picture is where you actually look at the scaling part of it. Okay. So big picture is that you are an enterprise, and as an enterprise, now you want to improve your business agility. You heard that this is all about business agility. So then, to improve your organization, your portfolio leadership, like your most experienced people who really want to continuously thrive, they come together, they work together, and they show the vision that how your organization will move towards, the next set of growth, the next set of improvement in next 5 years. And then you call it like a complete roadmap for the portfolio for the or the strategy for the next 5 years. Then we try to break it down for the strategy for a year, and then how this strategy actually meets execution in this entire year. This is the framework information, uh, that how, as an organization, you divide your portfolio strategy, you build it into a smaller chunks, you call it a portfolio backlog, you drive these initiatives, calling them epics, which are your functional solutions, and then enablers, which are your technical solutions. They support your value streams. Value streams are like, what is the value people are receiving or your customers are receiving from you? And then you continuously inspect and adapt quarter on quarter, which we call as a PI. You might have heard this word, program increment. So we actually do the quarter on quarter, the program increment or the planning increment, now we call it as well, is like how continuously we are improving every quarter. So that is how we implement it, and we try to give the maximum value to our customers. Our business continuously measure it, that what are the benefits that they are achieving by implementing these portfolio level strategies. And the customer is the one who is appreciating us by becoming a repeat customer, using our products, using our solutions. And we are giving them value by continuously using that feedback to drive product innovation. Okay, so that is kind of a this one big picture looks like. And now when it comes to implementation part of it, we try to explain, looking at these tabs, the organization, when they are really looking at business agility, what are the set of core competencies that they must have? Because here you could look at is like, we are not talking about one team, one program, one area. Here we are talking about how at an enterprise level we should scale. Uh, the best part which I like about this framework is, initially when you are starting your journey, you are part of a safe team maybe, and you don't have a clarity that how your systemic thinking about an enterprise should be. You can actually go and click on any of these icons on the framework and can read about the basic definition. So when we say enterprise, enterprises that provide the resources and support necessary for the portfolios to become successful. Safe enterprise organize their portfolios to ensure that there is continuous flow of value. And that is how, this is explained. And it also helps us giving that how our business, how our portfolio leaders, they look at our strategy as an organization, and they drive the digital solutions to get the maximum business agility. Of course, we talk a lot about the technology, the solutions part of it, but slowly when you start maturing as a safe organization, you will figure out that it's not just the technical solutions. There are multiple other support functions that enables you to become the part of the scaling agility for you. So this is, how you can actually navigate the mouse to each icon, and you can read about. And as safe is not only for private or public enterprises, but it can also be applied into the government agencies. And we have seen a lot of government agencies adopting safe. There are certain guidelines, because we do understand that from a government organization perspective, you may need to track a lot of things from a compliance, audit, laws perspective. And that is where Safe for Government gives you a little bit more detailing on that how, US federal from the 2010 till to 2020, they have really evolved, and they have actually matured their own practices to adopt it. Okay, so that is the beauty of this framework, that you can get these details out of it. Let me come back to the document part of it, is when you now would like to use it, that what is a scaled agile framework? Okay, in a very simple world, we can say SAFe is a system. Okay, and that is what I love this definition. SAFe is a system that helps you to manage the digital disruptions, and it is a smarter way of working. Okay, so how you can smartly align your people, your process, your tools and technology, your org structure, your compliance and audit, and your other support functions. I think this is the framework that helps you to stitch all those pieces. That is the framework all about. And when we say business agility, of course, at the end of the day, every enterprise that exists today, they are because they are a profitable business. So that is where we are no longer, just becoming a technology group or a IT of any business like a cost center. We are actually now the enablers for that business agility. And customers expect, instant gratification from same day package delivery, like Amazons of the world are disturbing. And they really look at, the daily updates on their self-parking cars, like Teslas of the world. So the consumer is same, and they expect the technology to work in the same manner, even if they are entering into the banks or they are entering into a grocery store. If they are using your application to buy something which is, of $1 million, or even if they are picking up a toy for their kid, right? They really don't have time and patience to wait for your company to figure that out. They really think that businesses should figure out that speed and agility very fast now. I'll take a pause. Any question, let me know.
No, it is good right now. Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next part is like, okay, we understand what is SAFe, right? Of course, this is a business agility framework, but why I should pick this up, right? So I would say, in a simplified words, it is for our clarity of choices that we are making as an organization. And as our every unit may be different, all the solutions that we are using in an enterprise, if it is external customers like our e-commerce website, our retail store, uh, they are using, those software applications. Internal customers, our own business people, if they are using our Salesforce application, SAP applications, ERPs or CRMs, right? Every solution is very unique. So that is why with this framework, we actually get a clarity on the choices that we can make and what are the approaches that are available to pick up those patterns and say that how we can apply this framework. So I think that is where the SAFe has helped most of the enterprises. And when these leading organizations actually collectively came and they started talking about what are the results that they have seen, if we go to the website and we find out, I have just picked up this from the current numbers. People said that because they brought in the more alignment where among various business functions and IT functions and testing functions and support functions and I would say infrastructure functions within an IT, they were able to achieve faster time to market. And some of the organizations said they were able to achieve 50% faster time to market because their release uh, patterns little bit became, synchronized. Then they also figured it out because people started getting more clarity, because in large enterprises, sometimes we move like a headless chickens that I don't know, what my role is. I am very small, tiny speck in this entire universe or in this large enterprise kind of a thing. So the people, when they got this clarity that what is your role, what are the function that you are playing in the entire value chain at a enterprise level, they were more productive, they were more aligned. They figured it out that it is more purposeful for them because this is how they are contributing to the success and business of their enterprise. Because we have a quality first approach, we actually started involving testing a way ahead. Even certain organizations started adopting methods like TDD and BDD. There was a lot defect reduction because there is not like a handoff or a gated process from a G0 to GX kind of a thing, which were there. It is more of like we are working together. Every iteration, we are trying to improve and improve. And by the time we are releasing it into the production, we actually have figured it out that this is what my business and customers are looking at, because we are working hand in hand with them now more frequently. And as I said, because our productivity is improving and we have more clarity and we are doing a more purposeful work, the people get more engaged. We are actually getting more happy employees. I think in agile organizations, that is the one thing that I can for sure say is your happiness comes because you have clarity that what are you going to do, next. I'm not going to cover, but you have already heard this, that many organizations said that when they were developing, larger products, there were products of products sometimes. When they started adopting SAFe, they were able to coordinate better. They had better methodologies. And I have seen in my experience, like I have been part of more than 15 SAFe transformations in my entire career. Somewhere I was like more engaged for more than 2 years, and in some I was like a part of a earlier art implementation, and then the scaling happened by others. But I could see that there was a lot of learnings and value delivery that came out from these transformations for us. I would say, what if you are new, right? Uh, you have not adopted SAFe ever. This is your first implementation. Okay. So this entire series that I'm recording it with a mindset that we have never done it before, probably. Or even if we have done, we have not seen success. What is that first thing that as a transformation leader, as a RTE, or if I am just any leader of my area, what should I do? I think the first step is awareness. Okay. Awareness is helping them casting the future vision and not telling them that we are adopting SAFe, telling them that why of that SAFe. Okay. Why other organizations, similar to you adopted it and have seen that benefit, and how you are, planning to do it. Then the most important thing, I think, which is very, very valuable, are creating a common understanding. I don't call it like a 2 days or a 3 days of training, but what I call is, how do you enable those roles to be the part of this SAFe transformation? And the first step is you train them with the common vocabulary, with the common language, and then the journey starts. I would say that training is not the end step. Training is actually the first step in the SAFe transformation. And many people say, oh, I am trained. I think that was just the beginning. The real value lies in the implementation. How many trains you have launched and seen them working? I think that is the true learning in any implementation of SAFe. Um, and then, once you are trained, then contextualizing your own enterprise groups, that how they should come together and work as a train. We will talk about it. Agile release train is a terminology which we use for team of teams. And when we bring those team of teams together, we actually do not call them technology people. Okay, we are doing a Blue Yonder implementation, or we are doing a Salesforce implementation, or we are doing a S4HANA implementation. No, we don't bring teams together in that way. We actually try to see that by bringing in these solutions, either it's a SaaS solution or a PaaS solution, what is the value my end customer, either it's an internal user or a external user, what value they will get, and how soon they will get that value, and how soon they will be able to give us the feedback. Okay, that is the purpose of this release train team of teams. So when we are building these team of teams, we should be looking at that, what is that structure which is important, which is a value delivery structure and not a structure, couple of people coming together and forming a team. Okay. And then that is not a team, that is just a group of people coming together and delivering something. Okay. And slowly, once we have launched trains, we have seen the patterns, we have seen that, okay, how the tools, people, process, especially the mindset and the culture is changing, then we will sustain and mature. Okay. So that is the overall implementation roadmap look like. I know we are already 30 minutes into it and I have 30 more minutes. So I'll try to now completely focus on what we are going to cover today. So as we said, the first step is just the awareness of why this transformation. So after that, why, and after that, couple of, we create couple of, either we call it a safe transformation change canvas, we call it whatever terminology you want to use it. But those change leaders are very, very important so that there is a consistent message that everybody in the enterprise is receiving, that why we are adopting this transformation. And then we start interacting with people from the business side, from the IT side. When we talk about the people from the business side, we actually talk about the people who are either the solution owners, like people who own the application. So you can call them the application owners. We start interacting with them, and then we start with talking about the product owner or the product management certification with them to make them more aware about the role they are planning to do. If they have already understanding of a product owner and how do they are building the product roadmap, we also give them a training on agile product manager, more of, how as a release train, the entire team of teams, they need to play a bigger role in building the backlog from a larger features perspective, talking about the customer journeys, talking about the empathy maps, personas, right? So all those aspects from our product management, we start working with business and seeking more guidance, how they are currently collecting data insights, how their market is looking like, market segmentations, how do they actually engage with the customers. So all those aspects from a business side. But majorly what we have seen is like our coaches are also engaged mostly at the IT side of any enterprise, right? And the IT side is like your CTO and the CIO organization. Organizations generally have in at an enterprise level, right? Uh, Technology functions, which is responsible for building the apps. You call it a AD, application development part of it. And then also the organization part, which is important from a support of those applications. We call them application management and services kind of a group, right? And then the third is infrastructure, which are managing your cloud part of it, your data centers, right? Your DCs. So generally, you interact with all of these groups separately. The key, I think, aspects, which is very, very important from my experience, are the architects. I would say if heart of any successful transformation you want to ask me, they are the architects. Because if they are onboarded from enterprise architecture perspective, how they will help us organize the solutions in a better way, and then how those solutions are from a system wise, then the architects coming from data side, then our DBAs, then our infrastructure architects, like people who are helping us to maintain entire infrastructure, right? So if you are able to work with these architects and understand that how this underlying technology is playing this entire thing, I think that is the most important part in any transformation. And of course, then the couple of roles like uh, safe practitioner, which is you are helping the team members to understand what is safe. Release train engineer, it's like the leader, agile leader, who is responsible for 100 to 200 people who are organized in your trains. Okay. Safe recommends 50 to 125 people. but based on the strength, right? How you are starting to develop your solutions. I think that is how this RTE role comes in. Then the roles are from a DevOps perspective, lean portfolio management. I think this is always with the mature organizations, like after 1 or 2 years, they start organizing better practices on budgeting and everything. We'll talk about it as well. And then, of course, let's test your knowledge. So what is the certification for team members? Let me go back and show it to you.
Yeah.
So
Agile Software Engineer certification.
that is absolutely correct from a engineering group perspective. But if you are part of other teams where you are enabling or testing and all that, then there is a safe practitioner certification as well, which is we use for team members. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to how SAFE applies Agile principles with a framework for Agile at scale. We know that all of us, like being a developer, being a tester, being a BA, being a tech writer, DevOps engineer, we all originally, started working with Agile principles and values. It's a 25 years old method now, right? And we were building and creating better products. We were launching them into the market. And today also, if it's a small product company or a small captive, it's focuses more on customer centricity, speed, and quality. But why a scaled Agile framework is needed? Why not to just stick with those Agile methods like Scrum and Kanban? Okay. So the reality lies between that at an enterprise level, the team and technical agility is de facto now. Like every team, when they build software, when they support softwares, they actually use agile practices, agile mechanism. Either they follow Scrum or Kanban or Lean or XP or TDD. But when they were actually, looking at an enterprise level value delivery, or when we were talking about the large solutions, or when we were talking about end-to-end similar experience of the customers with our enterprise, it was not same. And some part, like if you say front-end applications, which the mobile apps or websites that the customer were using, their experience was seamless. Like it was very modern, it was very fast. But as they started working within any enterprise, they saw that there are certain things which are very slow. And that is why they were not as compared to the born digital enterprises. That is where organizations went back and they realized that why they are slow than these born digital organizations. And they started figuring out it is the accumulation of legacy practices, right? Couple of teams, when they started working, they adopted mainframes, COBOLs. There is a lot of those technical solutions which are still the backbone of many large enterprises which were not born digital or which were born in 1950s or 60s or even before that, right? Today we have so many such enterprises which were born in like early 1900 as well, because they were born in industrial era and they were using the practices of an industrial era. They kept on using the Gantt charts from 1910, right? And in 2025, right, those maybe practices and techniques were no longer serving. And that is why even the PMI they have our PMI organization have adopted so much robustness and techniques from Agile. They acquired Disciplined Agile a couple of years back, and now they recently have done a merger with the Agile Alliance, because even they understand that Agile is the way forward in the project management space as well. So how those aspects can be built together. SAFE actually started doing that a couple of years before, is like when they pick up the foundations of Agile principles and values, And then they actually saw that how it could be implemented in a large, complex, distributed, high compliance settings. They tried extending those principles from the team level to the portfolio level by building those agile teams, right? All the teams are agile, but the method they might adopt will be not Scrum. They might use, very simple practices from lean software development. They might use very simple practices from Kanban system design, from design thinking, from lean startup. So actually safe integrated agile adjacent principles also, from a DevOps, from a system thinking, from other aspects. And they continuously added, practices from other areas, and say that how we can continuously learn with our customers, and how we can bring in all those new thinking and practices into our framework. And that is what I feel is the beauty of this framework, is they are adopting the methods, techniques from the other framework as well. So I have already quickly explained you that how you can read this big picture of scaled agile framework. This is here what we are covering is like as SAFe integrates the power of lean, agile, and DevOps into a comprehensive operating system that helps enterprise thrive in their digital age. So we will be talking about in the next session more on how do we create agile product delivery, how do we move products and services faster using this framework. But today I'm just covering it at a high level, that what are the guidance that SAFe provides about kickstarting its journey, why SAFe, what are the certifications available in SAFe, and then how we should look at this big picture. Okay. The second aspect, which when you start thinking about implementing SAFe, we actually talk about the SAFe configurations. And there are currently 4 configurations which are available in the framework. One is essential SAFe, then we have large solution, then portfolio, and the most, vibrant, which I feel is the most important, but it is based on the size of organization. It is called the full SAFe configuration. So if you want to know more, go to the same website, Scaled Agile Framework. As we clicked on big picture, it is giving us a very simplified big picture. But as you will start clicking on other tabs, it will give you the configuration of Essential SAFe. Essential SAFe talks about how do you come together and build an art, and to build that art, agile release train, what are the other aspects that are very much needed. We talk about product delivery, team and technical agility, lean agile leadership, and continuous learning culture. And it also gives you the panel that, okay, you need to have SPC's implementation roadmap, talk about principal values and mindset. And then this talks about the structure of Essential SAFe. If you are new, have never worked in SAFe before, you are starting your journey on SAFe, I think we should not be clicking accept Essential SAFe on any other tab right now, because this is the core of this framework. Understanding the core framework is most important, and then we should build over it. Then comes the large solutions. It is like you are a part of an enterprise and you are developing a new ERP solution for your organization, and you're going to adopt it like in entire enterprise. You can actually adopt large solution SAFe. Suppose you are, I think most of the organizations now have e-commerce, but it's like if you really want to implement a e-commerce solution for your organization, then that is a large solution for you. Then you can actually talk about how you can implement that large solution that can be actually used across your all the websites and the products. The third large solution could be any CRM implementation, or if you are building a new supply chain, or now if you can talk about, of course, AI will not be a large solution kind of a thing, but you can think of like if you really want to adopt AI across the organization, and if you want to build your own solutions, that could be a very large solution for us. Like it's a technical thing. But if you want to read about it, you will click on this, and what is a solution? You can actually get an information. A solution could be a product, it could be a system, it could be a system service that provides value to your internal and external customers. And then when you go deeper, you actually first have a vision for your solution, then you build its backlog, then you design a roadmap for your solution, and then you keep on defining, building, validating, and releasing your solution to your customers. And you learn from them, and then you continuously add to the solution capabilities. There is an aspect that I like about the SAFe is that its adaptability from other methods and techniques. I think our solution, when we are building it, how we can build its fundamental properties is like it should be desirable, it should be feasible, it should be viable, and it should be sustainable, like in the product market life cycle. I think these aspects from a product development space, SAFe have adopted very well. So this solution is actually bringing in the lot of mindset from a product world. So many organizations can actually adopt that product mindset within this solution space as well. These are about the configurations. I think we can do one full session on the configurations, but today it was just to pick it. Okay. Then we are talking about the business agilities core competencies. I'm not gonna talk about in depth for all these core competencies. You can actually, for every competency, there are 3 pillars available. You can go click on it and read about it. The customer centricity is for every competency. And if you want to build your enterprise, you must build your enterprise to have these competencies if they want to be a lean agile organization. A little bit theoretical sometimes when you don't have experience, but I think it's not a theory, it's the practices under each competency that matters. And that is our topic third for this series, where I will actually be not talking about the theory part of these competencies. We will purely focus on what does we mean by when we say that it's customer centricity and design thinking. Then how do we build this competency by actually bringing in the right practices from design thinking, when we help organizations and the teams develop and cadence and release on demand, and also talking about your CI/CD pipelines, your continuous testing integration. You might have heard of DevSecOps kind of a things. So all this becomes the part of our cultural competency of building customer centricity and design thinking. That are the aspects which are important. I think I would love to go into the depth of essential SAFe as a next step, but I would today talk about its top 3 things. Okay. The first aspect, which is very, very important, is, as we said, that in an essential SAFe implementation, first you should set up a vision and the roadmap for the art construct. Like, why are you building this art? Maybe you are starting first time, you do not have the right art definition. We should not wait for the right definitions. We should actually create the right vision, think of that how it can progress, and how we can align the couple of pilot teams to work together to build a basic backlog where we can develop certain solutions or products or services, and we should start working together. I think within 1 quarter, we will get a lot of learnings that we can reiterate and we can relaunch arts. When we have seasoned SPCs, we actually run a value stream identification workshop that helps us to identify the art and that part. I think in the basics of SAFe, I'm not going to cover this, but is there a method to the madness? Of course, there are beautiful methods and patterns to these madness based on the domains, based on the type of organization, based on the competencies and the solutions that you have, and based on the technology, right? Even if you are a leaner organization, you can actually, work with your safe practice consultants, and they can help you to design better operational and development value streams. So out of that part, then the art is constructed. So when you construct a art backlog, I think, how do you form art, its backlog, and how from the art backlog your team backlogs are designed is your first learning. Second learning is continuously showing the vision and the roadmap to the art people. Okay. And how this vision and this backlog actually is supported by these roles. I think that is the third learning. The roles from business side are the business owners and the product management group. So it's like these are the business people who are always guiding us what is a solution we are releasing to the market. System architects and agile teams are the people who are building these solutions continuously by defining, refining, testing, deploying, all of those part of it. And then team coach and the RTE, these people are the leaders. They are the visionaries who are bringing these talented people together and showing them the right vision and the goal all the time, and aligning them first on the PI objectives, then on the iteration objectives, and then keeping those aspects, as a leader, continuously, hold the flag post that, okay, these are our objectives, do not digress. And if we are finding an issue, come to us. We as a leaders will help you. So that is where when somebody tells me that I am just a scrum master, you are not just a scrum master. It's a very, very powerful role. You are actually a leader, which is accountable for the success of these teams. And as an RTE, you are actually a super leader, super coach, who's responsible for the success of this entire agile release train. I think claiming that leadership mindset within yourself is first of all very, very important. Then somebody will, give you that kind of empowerment. So first of all, you should be ready to hold that flag post. I think I would like to finish it in an hour so that then we can move into a Q&A round. So let me talk about this, and I have really loved writing this small thing, is all the words, pages, roles, activities, and artifacts, right? So it means when we click on the Scaled Agile framework and we read these things, the portfolio, the epic, the flow, all these words, right? And then pages, right? When we keep on clicking on something, it navigates us to the next page, right? If you click on roadmap, it will open a roadmap. So these are the next pages. The roles, right? We are redefining the roles. There are certain activities. There is a depth of activities that we do. And then the artifacts, the backlogs, the roadmaps, all of those are artifacts, right? They all are in the safe just for one purpose. And that purpose is to help agile teams, right? The teams continuously deliver solutions that provide value to the customers, right? Having that clarity that who is your customer and who is your enterprise. So whenever you are working towards a scaling part of it, you are no longer a very just a agile member or just a team member or just a scrum master. You are actually a very, very valuable, important, talented, skilled professional who is feeling pride in giving value to the customer and to the enterprise. And in that turn, you enable customer to achieve their goals. It means when customers are also coming and buying something from you, they feel so good about it. Like if you, even if I'm wearing this jacket, right? If it is, I bought it from Gap, right? So Gap have given me, a cozy jacket that has helped me to achieve my goal of staying warm when it is -15 outside. Okay, so that is where, when we actually take pride in giving that value to the customer, we feel more connected to the day-to-day activity that we are performing. And in the same manner, the solution is a product, right, as we covered, and services. And your customer can be your internal customers, like even if somebody is using a application like a Workday or a Clarity to fill in their timesheet, right? How important it is for any internal employee to fill in that timesheets, because then that is the way they are getting paid, right? So you should feel pride in that you are working on those finance applications which are helping your people to get a salary on time, right? With that, I think I will come to the last part of it. I am quickly finishing it with the key terms. I use the word agile release train, or ART. It means it is a group of teams where 50 to 125 people, and we organize them around value. A value could be anything for your organization. Release on demand is a very common used word in SAFe. It means that you as an enterprise should have a capability to deliver regularly, but when you release it into production, it is purely based on the demand of your business, because your business understands your customers better. So you do not release continuously, you actually release on demand of a business, but you deliver continuously to the business so that they can verify it and they can release it to the customers when they feel like. Art and team backlog. The backlog is nothing but our prioritized list of work items that business has asked us to work on so that we can give maximum value to the customers. We create features, okay, for our art backlog, and we create stories for our team backlog. Okay, I will go deeper into the levels of backlogs in the subsequent sessions. Vision and roadmap, that why we are building these solutions, and the PI roadmap is like what's the next upcoming milestones. So these are always in front of you. That gives you a visualization that what is your goal, right? As we say, we should keep our vision in front of us. Yes, we should always keep our vision and roadmaps in front of us so that they drives us towards that goal. Design thinking for customer centricity, and you can empathize that who is your customer. You always work for building in quality. It means quality is your first thing. You always try to bring in the testing people, testing practices, automation in ahead of your software development lifecycle. And last, but the most important part is our DevOps culture. Okay. It means the culture of working together, the development team and the operation teams. The development team, which is working towards building continuous features and deploying it, and the operations teams, which is working to sustain and maintain and build our resilient applications that our customers can use. So the culture of working together, all the parties. Then automating, right? Reducing the manual efforts. So the tools like any automation, it could be in your test automation, it could be in your unit testing automation, it could be automation of your infrastructure as a code kind of a thing. You are writing the automated scripts to reduce the manual effort and increase the automation part of it. Lean, always staying, where you are reducing the waste, always measuring culture. So you can only improve when you measure it. And then how you can, better at recovering, how you are proactively maintaining and sustaining your application so that your customers always get the best of the value. So with this, I will stop sharing. Thank you. I would stop recording.